Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bullpen Banter. It's me and the boy Scott, and today we're going to go over some breakout stars for next season, players who we think have a little something to prove, and then we're going to finish up with the National League Central recap. And Scott, let's get into these breakout stars, man. The first one up on the list, who do we got? We got Roman Anthony. This is one of my breakout stars for the season. Boston Red Sox prospect. We had Hunter Dobbins on the podcast, another Red Sox guy, and he talked big about Roman Anthony and some of the few other guys, but he's their number 3 overall prospect right now. He's MLB Pipeline's poll rookie of the year for the American League. I think it's just a matter of time for when he gets called up, to be completely honest with you. He had 119 games in the minors last year, 291 average, 396 OBP, 21 stolen bases, 894 OPS, and 18 home runs. He's projected to put up some decent stats in the MLB season this year once he gets called up. MLB.com only has him, or Fangraphs has him projected to play 91 games. What do you think about that? You think he's going to play more than that?
I think so, definitely. Well, it's hard because I know you have the Red Sox, projected to be pretty good this year. So I just hope they, I guess, have an opportunity to get him out there and get him as many games as 91. I'd love to see him hit like 120 if he could, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a matter of time for when they call up some of those guys like Campbell and Anthony and even Hunter Dobbins if he can get a few innings out of the pen. His projected stats is 91 games, 9 home runs, 244 batting average, 332 OBP. I have him outperforming those projections. I think he's going to have a monster rookie year once he gets the call up, and I think he'll play around 120 games. 244 batting average seems super low to me. I know he hit like over 290 in the minors, but 244 is a pretty substantial drop-off for a guy who's a 5-tool player. He's not only like a good contact guy, decent power guy, but he's also got the speed and the ability to get on base and force walks and stuff. So I think Roman Anthony's one of my breakout stars for good reason. Tell me about one of yours.
Yeah, I love Roman Anthony. Honestly, when I saw him on your list, I was like, damn, that's a great pick. The first guy I have is Mr. James Wood from the Washington Nationals. He played in 79 games last season for the Nats in left field in 295 ABs, had a 264 average, but he did have 78 hits, 9 bombs, 45 RBI, and 13 stolen bases. He's a dog, very capable on the offensive side, and he's he's one of the fastest players on the Nationals still, and he has a very plus arm. So look for him to do we saw what he could do last season, as I just listed, but I think that the 2025 season will be the season where he really breaks out. I think a lot of people have been having Dylan Cruz on their watch list coming out of the Nationals camp, but I think James Wood, don't let him go silently into the good night or whatever that quote is.
No, dude, absolutely. James Wood was actually, I had him typed out for one of mine too, and I changed it to Roman Anthony. Dude, I think James Wood's going to be a beast. I left some notes on here, man. The Nationals' potential stars for next year includes James Woods, obviously, but C.J. Abrams, Dylan Cruz, Luis Garcia, Mackenzie Gore, Mitchell Parker, Jake Irvin, who was a stud last year. Dude, they have a bright future, and I could see them causing some havoc in the NL East, an already good division. But when you have like the bad teams who are able to compete and beat these good teams, man, Nationals are going to be a fun one to look out for this year. Maybe a sneaky team, dude. My next star man is Spencer Schwellenbach for the Atlanta Braves. He had a good season last year, so it's, I guess, kind of hard to consider him a breakout star. But I think this year, man, he's going to get a lot more opportunities to not have to pitch so much in the spotlight, and I think he's going to perform really well. If Spencer Strider can stay healthy, if Chris Sale can put up a similar, not as good, but a similar season to what he did last year, I don't know. I don't think anyone's expecting him to replicate that, but he had a 3.35 ERA last year with 127 Ks. He was top 5 in the entire MLB in command last year, which is insane. And like I said, less pressure with Sell and Strider headlining the rotation. Expect a higher usage rate out of him. His projected stats this year by Fangraphs is 172 innings at 3.8 ERA and a 23% strike percentage. I think he's going to outperform those projections. I think 172 innings is about right for him. But I think the Ks are going to be through the roof, and I think that ERA is going to sit around 3.5, 3.3 to 3.5, what it was last year, because he's not going to be headlining the rotation. He's going to be pitching against those game 3 guys, maybe be able to go a little deeper into games. How you feeling about Schwellenbach?
Yeah, I think that's a great take. And yeah, like you said, being behind Chris Sale and Spencer Strider, man, I think that's a recipe for success. And I think got to take away a lot of what's the term I'm looking for? Just a lot of insight, a lot of information from last
Yeah.
season. And I think he's gonna come into this season and really be a dog. Yeah, I like those numbers from last season, man. I think let's see why he doesn't replicate it. But let me tell you about my last player that I got. Mr. Will Wagner, son of recently inducted Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. My guy is a Toronto Blue Jay. He played 24 games last season in his debut campaign. In 82 ABs, he had 25 hits, 2 bombs, 6 doubles, and 11 RBI. He's a hell of a fielder. He had a 988 fielding percentage, but they are expecting him to be more of a DH this season, which I think is interesting personally. His projections for this season are only 222 ABs, a 266 average, 7 homers, 29 RBI. Go ahead and give me the fucking over on all of those. I mean, I know that they're gonna put Jimenez at second, Bo at short, all that. We know that. And if they do have him at the DH, man, I don't see why you can't go out and be there for fucking 500 ABs, 600 ABs. I don't think that they plan on calling anybody up immediately. So, yeah, man, I think that he's going to outperform these projections crazily.
I like that too, man. Will Wagner's a good pick for the Blue Jays because they're a team that if they don't see early success in the season, if they know they're out of the race by the All-Star break, they're going to throw guys like Will Wagner in. They're going to get rid of other guys probably too. So Will Wagner, man, I really like that projection. Not what I expected to see, to be honest with you, but I really like it. That's a great pick, man.
We got to fucking show some Blue Jays some love. Hopefully they call up some of their
Absolutely.
prospects.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Pull a little Tiger stint like last year. Next up, man, we got some players who got something to prove. These are guys who either they've been injury ridden or they've seen decrease in performance over the year, or maybe they're a little overrated, to be completely honest with you. First up on the list, though, man, I got Julio Rodriguez. He's been a good player. Okay, I won't even go to great. He has been a good player, but in the last 3 seasons, he's seen a decrease in batting average, on base percentage, and WAR. Not to mention, he has seen a decrease in home runs 2 out of the last 3 seasons. The power is obviously still there. Not a plus defender either, a negative DRS for the last 2 seasons. Not crazy, but a little concerning. Jeter flashes, some would say. We got to see an increase in these stats, along with returning to be an all-star if he wants to be the leader of the Seattle team. We got high expectations for Seattle, me and you both, and it starts at the top with guys like Julio, man, the guys who are supposed to be the franchise players. They're building around Julio. He's got to perform. The rest of that offense can't perform if he's not leading it. He's MLB.com's #1 ranked center fielder coming into the season too. That's where I'm saying maybe a little overrated. What has he done exactly to show he's #1? I'm not saying he's not top 5, top 10, but #1 seems a bit high when you have guys in the league like Jackson Merrill, who just put up a better season than him, or Mike Trout's, who's proven it for a much longer time. So we'll see what he does. Fangraphs projects him at a 276 batting average, 335 on base percentage, 6.1 WAR, 30 bombs, and 28 stolen bases. Those are great projections. I could see him reaching those.
Yeah, man. Well, to kind of piggyback off of what you said, we are both very high on Seattle, but that goes with if Julio goes, if he doesn't go, then I think it's going to be another middle of the pack season for the Mariners. And, they brought who was it, Randy over last season in the middle of the season during the All-Star break. And, they were kind of hoping for a little more out of that duo. And they were just kind of jackasses getting thrown out at third base and whatnot. But, I think a full season of those two, plus Cal Raleigh, plus, they have a bunch of little pieces here and there. I like them. But as far as Julio, man, I would love to see him hit these projections. I would love to see him get a little bit higher batting average than 276. But shit, we'll take 250 if he fucking hits 45 nukes. We'll see though.
Yeah, no kidding. Next up on the list, man, I think this is a guy we could both agree on. Mr. Mike Nelson Trout, the GOAT. Everyone knows what he's capable of doing, but it's just a question of whether he can stay healthy. Only over 100 games played once since the 2019 season. He could have been he was on track for a first ballot Hall of Fame. I still think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if it'll be a first ballot guy. If his career was to end right now, Fangraphs projects him at 130 games this year, 30 home runs, 83 RBIs, 251 batting average. He's such a weird guy to look at because, like we mentioned in previous episodes, Mike Trout, in his small sample size from what he did play, was hitting the absolute piss out of the ball, but his batting average was like stupidly low, but he's also not striking out at a high rate. So he's just a weird one to project. I think he's going to soar over that batting average. If he plays 130 games, I expect him to hit more than 30 home runs as well, to be completely honest with you. I could see him getting to 40. Give him a full 162, he could probably hit 50, but it's just a matter of whether he stays healthy. So I guess what I'm asking is, do you think he's going to stay healthy?
I got my fingers crossed that he stays healthy. I think if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, that'll help contribute to his healthiness. Also, I think if the Angels are smart and they let him be a DH or keep him in the corners, like we've been bitching and complaining about for years, I do think he could play up to fucking 150, which would be absolutely beautiful for his career. Absolutely beautiful for that Hall of Fame case. Fingers crossed. Yes, I think, every season we want to say, yes, he's going to play at least 150, but, since 2019, like you said, only once. So I'm going to go out and say yes on a limb. We can come back and next year and everybody can cook me and we can laugh at me, but I'm going to say yes. He's going to stay healthy. He's going to soar over that. He's going to soar over all of those projections. If he gets 150 games, he's going to have we'll say 66 bombs, 100. Nah, just kidding. No, but I could see him hitting like 45, maybe 100 and fucking 15 RBI, and he's still gonna. He's Mike Trout. He's gonna hit like 298.
I think that's what people forget, bro. Is like he is still Mike Trout. If he is healthy, he's still the same guy, man. Maybe he's not as fast and stuff anymore. He's still fast though, but he's just not gonna do it like he was doing it. Next up on the list, man, we got Corbin Carroll. The hype was real around him 2 years ago. He's coming off a pretty bad season last year. He had a decent second half, but he's been lingering with an injury that he actually sustained back in the minor leagues, but got re-aggravated kind of during that World Series run that they had made. He's MLB.com's 6th ranked right fielder for 2025. I think that's a little high considering how bad he was last year. 231 batting average compared to a 285 average in 2023. 35 stolen bases, which was really good. He actually led the league in triples. But his average exit velocity was down over 5 miles an hour. His OPS was over 1,000 in 2023 on high fastballs. In 2024, that number was under 400. That is a significant decrease. He's got problems with his swing, and I guess it really just depends on how much he worked on that during the offseason and how comfortable he is to getting back to how he was, or if he's just going to have to adjust to that new type of swing because of that injury. Fangraphs has him projected 26 bombs this year, 263 average, 350 OBP, 41 stolen bases, and a 4.8 WAR. If he puts up those numbers, man, then I think he absolutely did the job, and that's exactly what the Diamondbacks need out of him. But I'm going to be real, I don't think he's going to put up those numbers. I really don't, but I hope he proves me wrong.
Yeah, man, I hope he proves me wrong, or proves both of us wrong, because I'm in the same boat as you. I don't think he's going to meet these expectations or these projections. I really hope he does, because, my heart, we a D-backs fan there somewhere. But yeah, I just watched Major League last night, bro, and I just think he should do the Willie Mays Hayes fucking game plan and just lay one down. He's so fast, so you might as well fuck the swing. Just get on base and you can steal every base. But yeah, man, I don't think he's going to have that great of a season. That same list that you just referred to had him over Acuna. Yeah. So like, fuck that list. That ain't right. I don't think he's going to be the 6th rated right fielder for 2025. I could see him being maybe in the top 20, but yeah, I think we'll probably see something closer to like 15 bombs, maybe like a 245 average. But, if he gets on base, he's still going to steal a ton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, he don't need to be a power hitter either. That's just not who he is. How about you tell us about this last guy?
This last man is a personal favorite. Mr. Jacob deGrom of the Texas Rangers, coming off of the 2024 season where he only had 3 starts, and I'm pretty sure they all came in September. He's now healthy ahead of the season. What the fuck is he gonna do, man?
Yeah, man. Like you said, 3 starts, very end of the season, and they weren't even like it was like, hey, pitch 3 innings here, 3 innings there. I will say in those starts though, dog, he was nasty. He was still Jacob DeGrom. That's what's exciting to see. Jacob DeGrom is like the easiest 100 mile per hour arm like of all time. It's just a matter of whether that elbow can hold up on him, bro. He's kind of one of those Mike Trout situations though. Hasn't gone over 100 innings since 2019. You noted that on here. Dude, if he can stay healthy though, see, here's the deal with him, bro, is Caesars and DraftKings and all these guys, they got him as like the second favorite to win the Cy Young. So maybe Vegas knows something we don't know, bro. Maybe they think he's gonna have a healthy season. I don't know. Maybe they inserted some iron into his elbow. But dude, if Jacob DeGrom's healthy for a full season, dude, we're in for something special.
Oh God, man, I'll do some real crazy shit that we can't talk about on this fucking podcast. If Jacob DeGrom can give me 100 and fucking 70 innings, I'll learn how to do a backflip like fucking I Show Speed. But fuck, man, yeah, I would love to see it. I don't know if you already listed his projections, but they are going to project. They got his projections at 77 Ks and 68 innings. So I think it's interesting that they have his projection so low, but then his MVP odds or his Cy Young odds are so
Yeah.
high. But yeah, 68 innings, 77 Ks, which he's always going to have more strikeouts than innings pitched. 3.57 ERA with a 4-3 record. Give me the over. He said he's feeling good. He said his arm hadn't felt this good since a long goddamn time, and he's ready to go show everybody what the fuck he can do. Give me fucking 18 game winner. Give me 187 strikeouts. Give me 155 innings pitched.
I like it, man. If he gets 150 innings this year, bro, mark him in for the Cy Young Award, bro. I'm telling you, dude. Like he is that good. He's like Mike Trout, bro. If they can just get the games and the innings pitched, bro, they are still elite. Don't sleep on Trout. Don't sleep on DeGrom. I said it last inning. Don't sleep on Tatis either. All right, let's move on to our last segment here, man. We're gonna go over the National League Central. Get back to our division recaps, and let's just start off, man, with the Pirates. Projected lineup of IKF, Brian Reynolds, Cruz, McCutchen, Joey Bart, Horitz, Gonzalez, Hayes, and Palacios. And then on the bench, man, they have Tellez, Nick York, Andy Rodriguez, Michael Taylor, Billy Cook, Jack Sawinski. Pretty deep bench. It's not a great bench, but it's also like not the worst. They're kind of one of these teams, a lot like the Nationals, to be honest with you. I don't think they're as talented as the Nationals, but they can play fiddle with a couple of teams in that division, especially in that division, and they can cause some havoc, I think. It's not a great lineup, but it's also not the worst lineup. It's a lot of contact, to be honest with you. That can play sometimes. It doesn't play all the time, and I don't know how it plays in PNC Park, but how do you feel about the lineup and the bench?
Yeah, man. Not my favorite lineup, but for the Pirates, love the lineup. I'll take it. Best lineup since 2013, baby. We'll take it. Headlined by fucking Brian Reynolds and IKF. Just kidding. O'Neal Cruz. No, I'm very excited to see what O'Neal Cruz does this season. He's just been getting better and better every season that he's been healthy. So I think, and don't they have him in
Center field?
They have him in center now, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Field. Good for him. But yeah, like you said, good contact hitting team. I saw a tweet that was like, the Pirates are going to have a team ERA of like 1.8, and then they're going to have a team home run stat of about 3. So,
yeah, no shit, bro. I could definitely see that. I think Mitch Keller, he's a candidate for a breakout star this year too, man. I know all the lights are on Paul Skeens, obviously, for good reason too, and Jarrett Jones even. But, bro, Mitch Keller, man, he's got nasty stuff, bro. Really nasty. Their rotation, like I said, Skeens, Keller, Jones, but Bailey Falter, Oviedo's really good too. And then Bednar is a closer, bro. Bednar is one of the best in the league, and he has been for the last few years. So projected at 77.5 wins. I took their under. I got them at 73, but I think they're going to play a lot of close games.
Yeah, I think so too. Hopefully they do, stay competitive and they keep Bednar, or maybe, even sign a couple more pieces. I have they're under as well, but I have them winning a couple more games at 75. Yeah, fingers crossed, man. I'd like to see the young Pirates, do something crazy this year, or in a couple of years.
Yeah, I completely agree. They're a fun team to watch out for if they can hold on to their pieces. Hopefully they do, though. They have a reputation of not holding on to their pieces, kind of like the White Sox. Next up, we got the Reds. Projected lineup of TJ Friedel, De La Cruz, McLean, Stevenson, Fraley, Steer, Candelario, and Encarnacion Strand, followed by Gavin Lux, the newest addition. A bench of France, Noel V. Marte, Jose Trevino, Espinal, Fairchild, and Benson. That's a pretty good bench, in my opinion. There's actually players on the bench I would say are probably going to split time and not just be on the bench. I think Ty France is going to get a lot of time. Noel V. Marte, Trevino will get a ton of time behind the dish. I think that's actually a pretty deep lineup. I'm not saying it's a great lineup, but it's a deep lineup, and they can swing it a little bit better.
Yeah, man, I like this lineup a lot more than I like the Pirates, obviously. And a super deep bench, man. Even Espinal, he was the starter for the Blue Jays for the longest time. So I'm just like, damn, I'm pretty impressed, And I think it was an interesting move getting rid of India and then signing Gavin Lux. I mean, I like Gavin Lux's potential more than I like Jonathan India because Jonathan India got bricks for hands. But, Gavin Lux came back from injury last year, I think, or last season. Had a fairly decent season. But I think, with the expectations not being as high on the Reds, because when he was on the Dodgers, it's ring or bust, So with the Reds, it's like they're that young, fun team that I think he's going to be more relaxed. He's going to feel more comfortable. And I think he's really going to blossom out there. And yeah, I could say that for honestly all these guys. They're so young. I think that any of them could fucking go out. And I think Noel V. Marte will be a starter after a month or so.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, man. And if Ellie De La Cruz does what people think Ellie De La Cruz can do, what he's capable of, the tools are there. It's just a matter of if he can put it together. He's a guy who, I'm not going to say he can win MVP when Shohei's in the league, but, he puts it all together, man. He could put up similar type of seasons in terms of the home runs and the stolen bases and things of that nature. Now, I don't know about the batting average, but he's got the tools to be something special. The rotation consists of Hunter Green, Singer, Abbott, Martinez, and Nick Lodolo. Lodolo, who was at one point considered a breakout star and then regressed, and then I still think the potential's there. And then Diaz as their closer. He's been pretty shaky the past 2 seasons, a lot like his brother, to be honest with you. It's a good rotation. I think they need a little bit of improvement on the back end. I wish they would have kept old Sonny Gray a couple of years ago, to be honest with you. But it's not bad. Maybe they'd make a trade back with the Cardinals and get Sonny Gray back because I think that would actually help the lineup out a lot. They're projected at 78.5 wins. I actually took their over at 81. I think they're going to be competitive.
Yeah, man. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be pretty competitive too. A lot of these guys is going to be their second and third and fourth season seeing the field with the Reds, so I think they're gonna be a little more comfortable. I don't have them, as high at 81. I think this will be a competitive division. They're just going to be beating the fuck up on each other, all of them. So I took their over still at 79 games. So
okay, yeah, right there with them. Okay. Now we got the Cardinals. Projected lineup of Mason Wynn, Burleson, Contreras, Donovan, Arenado, Lars Newbar, Walker, Herrera, and Victor Scott. A bench of Thomas Sagasi, Gorman, Pages Pajas. I forget how you say it. And then Mike Ciani. Rotation of Sonny Gray, Fetty, Mikolas, Palante, and Matz. And then Helsley is the closer. Helsley's nasty. Sonny Gray's nasty. Mason Wynn's nasty. That's where I stop. I think I'm real down on the Cardinals this year, man. They're projected at 77.5. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. You can talk about them if you want to more. I got them at 72. I think they're going to be very disappointing.
All I got to say about the Cardinals is they are my favorite football team. No, honestly, hot ass. I think the Cardinals are super hot ass cheeks. They finished the second half of the season really strong last season, but I just don't think that carries over into this season. I think, they're a young team. Young teams suck sometimes, and I think this is the young team that's going to suck this season. So I have their under, at 74 games. I still think I was being a little generous, but I was kind of basing it off of their standings from last season too.
No, yeah, that's fair. We'll see how losing Goldschmidt impacts them, if it impacts them at all. I don't think it's a crazy loss or anything, but I don't know if Arenado sticks around for the full season either. Next up, we have the Brewers. Now, this is a little bit more fun team now we're getting to. Jackson Chourio, who's a young star. Yelich, we know what he can do. Contreras, Mitchell, Hoskins, Frelick, Terang, Joseph Ortiz, and Oliver Dunn. Not as deep of a bench. Blake Perkins, Caleb Durbin, and Tyler Black headline the bench. But the lineup, man, I think it's a pretty damn solid lineup, to be completely real with you. I think the Brewers are going to do what the Brewers do. They're going to have a pretty good year. What do you think about that lineup?
Delicious. I love this lineup. I really like it. I I like it more than I like the Cubs, but we'll get into that here in a minute. Um, yeah, man, Jackson Chourio, did he win a NL Rookie of the Year?
Merrill does. No,
Merrill?
Skeens did, bro.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm
Yeah.
dumb as hell.
Bro,
My
there were some
fault.
good rookies last year,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Rookie class was heavy in that now.
Yeah, bro. Well, Jackson Chourio played so goddamn good, you wouldn't have thought he was a rookie. I think that he meshed well with that Brewers lineup. I think the loss of Willie Adames, that definitely hurts, but you're replacing him with these top prospect dudes that I think are really going to produce for you pretty early on. Um, I'm pretty high on I don't know which Contreras brother this is, but I'm excited for both of them. But I think this one's gonna have the better season. Um,
I love their lineup, but I love their rotation more, dog. If you got Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff's coming back from injury. We know what he's capable of. Savali, Tobias Myers, bro, and nasty Nestor, bro, in that 5 spot. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If Nestor's your 5, the rotation's pretty good. And I know Nestor gets a lot of hate because of his shenanigans, but bro has put up like top 25-ish starting pitching seasons for like 4 or 5 years consecutively now. And then Trevor McGill in the closing spot. It sucks to lose Devin Williams for sure, but Trevor McGill, man, has put up really solid stats, and I think he's ready to fill that role.
for sure, man. I agree. And imagine how good Nestor is gonna be now that he doesn't have to just keep his stupid ass mustache. I think
No
he's gonna
shit.
look like a good gentleman. Yeah. Let's move on to this next team. I'll go ahead and do it if you don't mind. So we
Go
got
for it.
the Chicago Cubs. So leading off is Ian Happ. They got Kyle Tucker, new signing. Seiya Suzuki, Kyle Busch, Dansby Swanson, who I did not realize was on the team last season. I was texting Ethan, I did not know. But you got Nico Warner, Pete Crow Armstrong, Matt Shaw, and Miguel Amaya. Their bench is Carson Kelly, Gage Workman, Alexander Canario, and Vidal Brujan. They also got Jan Gomes. What do you think of this team, man? I don't mind
Bro,
it.
I'm high on the Cubs, man, too. I really am this year. I think this lineup is freaking nasty, brother. I'm not gonna lie. I think your top 4 is freaking insane in terms of power, production. You're gonna get a lot out of it. Dansby's got to figure it out, though. He sucked last year, man, and it was very disappointing because I think the tools are still there. Nico Horner, though, bro, he can hit absolute tanks. Pete Crow Armstrong, if he figures it out, dude, I'm telling you, but that dude can hit nukes. I was watching all his minor league games when I was working my other job, and bro, PCA is nuts. And dude, if they can figure out a way to turn Vidal Brujan into like a player that he has the potential to be, bro, he can end up starting games for them down the stretch and be a really good asset to that team, to be completely honest with you. I know you're higher on the Brewers lineup, bro. I'm higher on this. I think this lineup's gonna rake, man.
Hey, man, I think they're gonna rake too for sure. I think it's gonna be a dogfight, and I definitely love what the Cubs have gone out and done, and they've gone out and made who'd they just go out and sign relief pitcher that was pretty notable.
I know who you're
Well,
talking about.
yeah, they signed somebody pretty notable for the bullpen, and that was literally what they were looking to do this offseason. They needed to get a star trade, which they got in Kyle Tucker, and they needed to get a relief pitcher who, we'll figure that out in the notes. But yeah, man, I should be a little higher on the Cubs, but it's the Cubs. So historically, I got to go with the under. I got them. So Caesar or whoever the fuck we do our standings by went with 84.5. I took their under at 83. I think the Brewers are just gonna etch them out just a little bit.
Yeah, and it was Ryan Presley they made that trade for. Yeah, so that's a very good addition to their bullpen, man. Their rotation, bro, with Shada, Steele, Tyon, Matt Boyd, Assad, Colin Ray. I don't think they have the closing situation figured out yet, but they have Porter Hodge and Tyson Miller fighting for that spot. Well, you got him at 83. You took the under. You're mad, man, Scott, because they're going way over. I got him at 89 this year, and I wouldn't be shocked to see them win 95 games. Probably a hot take, but I'm pretty high on the Cubs this year, man. And it's funny because when we first started this shit, bro, I did not like the Cubs moves they were making, but they turned it around, bro. And I think they ended up having a really good offseason. They need to extend Kyle Tucker, though, man. They got to do it. If they don't do it, man, They're cooked. So here's how our final standings projections shape up for the Central. I got the Cubs winning the division, the Brewers next, the Reds, Pirates, and the Cardinals in dead last by a long shot.
Yeah, man. Our standings are they basically mirror each other. The only difference is I have the Brewers winning the division and the Cubs finishing second. I mean, honestly, the Cubs will they'll be that first wild card team. Probably not though, but yeah, then we got the Reds, Pirates, Cardinals. Cardinals are gonna be hot piss. The Pirates, I think they'll progress, I think they'll just keep progressing, but we'll see how they do. And then the Reds, I think they're exciting. I still think I don't think they're gonna get over the hump this year, but we'll see. But yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think the Pirates and the Reds are on the come up. The Cubs and Brewers are definitely going to be the two teams battling it out. I hope the Reds or the Pirates end up proving us wrong. I really do, because that would be a fun division to watch, because that division, I don't think anyone's going to be going like crazy, bro. Like there's not going to be no one seeds coming from this division. But yeah, man. So that's our wrap up for the episode. We appreciate y'all watching. Y'all tune into the next one. We're gonna have a real fun competition episode. Stick around. Check out our YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe, and we'll catch y'all later. Peace.